9:30 p.m. Central Time. This one on ESPN. West Virginia makes their first trip out to Provo. They're going to take on the BYU Cougars, and BYU in a 19.5 point favorite, total of 47.5. And this number is all over the place. I mean, all over. There's a 17.5 out there. I saw 18.5s. I saw 19s. I saw 19.5s. The consensus, most places have this at 19.5. Why? I don't know. I don't know why there are 17.5s that's still on the board, but I will go ahead and take that 17.5 for this. I still would feel pretty good at 19.5. Let's read some of the trends here. West Virginia 3-0 against the spread after their last 3 byes, and they are coming off of a bye here. That is not correct. Why did I write that down? That's crazy. West Virginia just got their doors blown off at home by Utah. So, yeah, that's not a bye. BYU is 0-2 all-time against West Virginia. They last met in 2023. West Virginia won 37-7 in Morgantown. This is the first home game for BYU since September 6th. They had a bye. They had a couple of road games. Now they're coming back home. Their defense is awesome. And West Virginia is still banged up on offense. West Virginia's defense is okay. I think that BYU is still going to be able to run the football here. They can be explosive running the ball. I think we're going to see points. My projection, stats projected spread, has BYU minus 24. I've got a total of 49. This thing is sitting at a total of 47.5. So I would like the over a little bit. But I don't know if West Virginia is going to score. That's my only question there. So I've got a projected score somewhere around 36.5 to 12.5. So let's go up. Let's call it 37-13, something like that. My power rating has BYU by 18. That's still higher than the 17.5. So for show purposes, I'm going to take the 17.5. We can look over, talent rank. We can look over 5 factors rank. BYU number 7 in the 5 factors. West Virginia number 99. First half point margin, second half point margin. There's not a lot to point to that would lead you to bet on West Virginia. So I'm going to go with another Friday night home favorite here. I will take BYU minus 17.5 to handle business and remain undefeated. And I think that they will cover this number. Right now, BYU 3-1 against the spread. West Virginia 2-3 against the spread. Give me the Cougars minus 17.5. Game 13, 11 a.m. Central Time on ABC. The Kentucky Wildcats are going down between the hedges, and they are going to take on the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia, a 20.5 point favorite at home right now, total of 48.5. Georgia, of course, coming off a loss at home to Alabama that ended the 33-game home winning streak that dated back to when Will Muschamp and the South Carolina Gamecocks went in and surprised them back in 2019. Georgia, they beat Kentucky last year 13-12 in Lexington as a 22-point favorite. Everybody was shocked at this. Everybody was surprised at this. Kentucky did not look very good going on the road to South Carolina the other night. But that's okay. Kentucky is 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 against Georgia. Georgia has won 15 straight against Kentucky, but it's kind of the Lane Kiffin thing. Mark Stoops and his defenses always figure out a way to keep them in ball games, especially against somebody like Georgia. They just always play really well against Georgia. They always play really well against Ole Miss. They always play really well against Florida. There are certain teams that just match up well, and Kentucky and Georgia match up well against each other. My number on this has Georgia by about 17 as far as projected stat spread. My power rating only has Georgia favored by 13 points. You're looking at the number 2 overall talent rank for Georgia, number 25 for Kentucky. Georgia's issue is they cannot get after the quarterback. Their defense is number 108 in havoc rate. And no, Kentucky's not great at defending it, but my gosh, Georgia can't get any kind of pressure. They're number 117 in passing success allowed, number 109 in PPA allowed per pass, number 103 in yards allowed per attempt. They are pretty good at stopping the run. Number 6 in PPA allowed per rush. Number 5 in rushing success allowed. So will they be able to stop Kentucky's running game? Probably. But also on the other side, I think Kentucky's going to be able to slow theirs down as well. This feels like two teams that just want to play in a phone booth. And it's going to be the same thing that it always is. Low scoring. Like a total is 49.5. I mean, my projected total is 49.57, so I'm right there on the number. But again, I've got Georgia by 17. I've got Georgia by 13 as far as power rating. Yeah. Like this feels, special teams efficiency, Georgia's number 1, Kentucky number 4. 5 factors rank, this will surprise you. Raw 5 factors, Georgia's number 31, Kentucky number 65. That's not including talent. That's just how are these teams playing right now? Do they do the things that are necessary to win football games? And both of them are just kind of average. I'm going to go with both of them number 100 in turnover margin. My gosh, Georgia number 9 in penalties per game, Kentucky number 52. So Kentucky 1.5 more penalties per game. This feels very much like Kentucky can hang around. So that's what I'm expecting. I don't expect a lot of points, but I will take Kentucky. Best number I can get is 20.5. I'll take the Wildcats, Mark Stoops and company, plus 20.5 in Athens early Saturday morning. Game number 6, 11 a.m. Central Time, God's time zone, ESPN2. We got Iowa State traveling to Cincinnati. And these two teams right now, 3-1 for Cincinnati, straight up and against the spread. And Iowa State, 3-1-1 against the spread, 5-0 straight up. So big-time matchup so far as the Big 12 is concerned. Cincinnati getting a massive win at Kansas last week. And Iowa State, of course, remains undefeated. They blew the doors off of a pretty good Arizona team last week. The current strength of schedule for Iowa State, surprisingly, number 94. Cincinnati, number 39. Big difference there as far as all that goes. This thing opened Iowa State minus 3.5 with a total of 52.5. The 52 has stuck around. But now Cincinnati is favored by 1.5. I mean, as soon as this line hit, bang, immediate. They were getting everybody already knew what the thing was. So Cincinnati is now favored by 1.5 at home. Last year, Iowa State won this game 34-17. Cincy is 0-2 straight up and against the spread recently against Iowa State. Iowa State 21-16-2 against the spread in conference road games. Now, they're 10-10-1 against the number as a road favorite in conference. They are 11-6-1 against the spread as an underdog. And here they are finding themselves in the role of an underdog this week. Very interesting. Very interesting. Cincinnati number 29 in PPA margin. Iowa State number 26. So these two teams, as far as predicted points added are concerned, pretty close. Iowa State number 43 in PPA per drive on offense. Cincinnati's defense is number 116 in PPA allowed per drive, but their offense, with Brendan Sorsby and company, number 10 in PPA per drive. Iowa State's defense, number 25. So you've got Iowa State, which is pretty good on both sides of the ball. Cincinnati, really good on offense. Objectively terrible on defense. Number 122 in defensive success rate allowed. They are number 133 against the pass as far as success rate allowed goes. Iowa State, number 26 in PPA per pass on offense, number 27 in QBR, number 60 in passing success rate. They're not great at running the ball. They do like to run it a lot, though. They're 30th in rush rate at 56+%, but only 75th in PPA per rush, number 85 in rushing success. This is an interesting spot. Interesting spot. Iowa State does not beat themselves. They're number 35 in turnover margin, number 2 in penalties per game. Cincy, number 86 in turnover margin, and number 60 in penalties per game. So that is something to pay attention to for sure. 5 factors rank. The things that win ball games for you. Iowa State, number 14. Cincinnati, number 23. This thing flipped too much. There's too many people thinking that this is just a given that Cincinnati is going to win this game. You are asking Scott Satterfield to do a whole lot here. Matt Campbell and this bunch have found ways to win games that they most likely shouldn't have. I understand that the competition is not great. I get that. What do we really know about the competition that Cincinnati has faced? Nebraska, Kansas. Okay. I don't know that those are great teams. Kind of the same way that I don't know that Kansas State is a great team. I don't know that Iowa is a great team, etc. But those are at least formidable opponents, the same way that Cincinnati's opponents have been. So I think that the strength of schedule is a little bit off. I know my power rating says Cincy by 0.3. I know that my stat spread has Cincy by 0.45. I think it went the wrong way. Not the wrong way. I think it just went a little too far. I'll take Iowa State plus 1.5 as a road dog here. I think Matt Campbell and company get it done. I think they win the game outright. Game number 11, and we're staying in the Big Ten. This one's on Fox, 11 a.m. Central Time. Wisconsin heading to the Big House. They're going to take on Michigan. Both of these teams coming off byes. The home team in this series is 8-4 against the spread since 2005. Michigan, they have got USC next week. There's not a lot of trends that I can even point to on this. Michigan currently a 16.5-point home favorite, total of 42.5. This one opened at 41.5. My projected total is 43.65, so this thing got hit and it's up to 42.5 now. Biff kind of took the shackles off of Bryce Underwood. Is that going to change now that Sherrone Moore's back? We'll see. We'll see exactly what that looks like. Wisconsin is bad. Don't know what's going to happen with Billy Edwards Jr., the quarterback. Danny O'Neal, the backup quarterback, has not been very good at all. Their offense is number 82 in offensive success rate. Better passing the ball than they are rushing. Jeff Grimes' offense has not exactly cured anything thus far. Wisconsin number 135 in pace of play. That's plays per minute. Michigan is kind of slow, but they're number 68. I mean, they're dead average, right in the middle. So, okay. Offensive success rate for Michigan is not great. But as far as PPA per drive is concerned, they're number 46. So, number 106 in success rate, number 46 in predicted points added per drive. They're not great throwing the ball, but they are pretty good at running the ball. Wisconsin's defense pretty good at stopping the run. Yeah, a little surprising there. I don't expect Wisconsin to be able to do anything on offense. They're okay throwing it, number 74 in QBR, number 82 in passing success rate. Michigan's defense, number 82 in passing success allowed, number 82 in passing explosiveness allowed. But when you start to look at the run, and that's what Wisconsin wants to do, they run the ball 54% of the time. Michigan is number 33 in PPA allowed per rush, number 6 in yards allowed per rush, number 36 in rushing success allowed, number 6 in rushing explosiveness allowed. It is I can't bet on Wisconsin. I think the shackles have come off Bryce Underwood. I think they understand that this is a stretch where Michigan can really get the ball rolling towards a playoff berth. Michigan, I've got them favored by 20 as far as projected stats. I've got Michigan favored by 17 as far as power rating. Yeah, this thing is under 17. I will take Michigan to cover 16.5.
Are you looking to catch your favorite team or concert live? Ticket Smarter makes buying tickets safe and simple. And with our promo code, you save big. Use WCE10 for $10 off an order of $100 or more, or WCE20 for $20 off $300 or more. Grab your tickets now at Ticket Smarter.
Game number 8, 11 a.m. Central Time on the Big Ten Network. Illinois travels to Purdue. Illinois, a 9.5-point road favorite. This one opened at 10.5. It's been bet down a little bit. The total is 57.5. That is up 2 points from the opener of 55.5 on that. 50-49, Illinois won this game in overtime, and it was basically a miracle that they won the game last year. And a lot of people did not pay attention to the fact that that was the first win for Illinois over Purdue in the previous 4 meetings. So they are now 1-4 in the past 5. Bielema 4-1 against the spread as a road favorite at Illinois. Purdue, coming off of a bye now, they are 4-6 against the spread after their last 10 byes. However, Purdue has won 7 of the last 9 against Illinois. They have Illinois' number. Now, don't forget, Jeff Brom was there for a while before that, and even Ryan Walters got a win over Illinois in his first year there. Very surprising. Very, very surprising. Purdue, their defense is atrocious. Number 129 PPA allowed per drive. They're number 128 in defensive success rate. Illinois, number 107 PPA allowed per drive. They're number 118 in defensive success rate. Both of these offenses are pretty good. Number 48 in PPA per drive on offense for Purdue. Number 42 for Illinois. I don't see a massive advantage for either one of these teams. Illinois probably going to be able to throw the ball on Purdue. When you look at it, number 15 in QBR for Illinois, number 112 in QBR allowed for Purdue. Running the ball, Illinois is not great. Number 103 PPA per rush, number 100 in yards per rush. Purdue is number 115 and number 92 in those stats, respectively. Offensive line yards, though, Illinois number 34 and Purdue number 131. So Illinois is going to have a massive advantage at the line of scrimmage. That's a huge thing here. Purdue still finds a way against this team. When you got a team's number, you got a team's number. We saw it with Alabama and Georgia last week. Same deal. Same deal all over again. Turnovers. Illinois, number 17 in turnover margin. Purdue, number 128. I don't know if you can predict turnovers. I would imagine Purdue is going to give up to them at some point. Who knows? Penalties per game. Purdue, number 18. They don't beat themselves that way. Illinois is number 40. You start looking at scoring opportunities per game, points per scoring opportunity. Points per scoring opportunity. You will be able to score on Illinois. It's just Purdue makes everything seem kind of hard. My number is right on the spread. Power rating, Illinois minus 9.3. Projected stat spread, Illinois minus 9.76. I'm going to stick with the history here. Barry Odom is competent. I think he can hang in this at home, especially. Both of these teams have played really good strength of schedules. Purdue number 10, Illinois number 9. I think Purdue hangs around. I think they hang around a little bit. If a 10 pops again, I'll probably take Purdue. I see the advantages for Illinois. I just think Purdue's going to hang around. So give me the Boilermakers plus 9.5 at home. Game number 12, we're headed to Pasadena, California, where the Penn State Nittany Lions, fresh off a home loss in a whiteout against Oregon, they are going to take out some frustration on the UCLA Bruins. And this one's 2:30 p.m. Central Time on CBS. Penn State currently a 25.5-point favorite on the road, total of 50.5. Penn State won this matchup 27-11 at home last year. Penn State 5-1 against the spread off straight-up losses in the last 6. My projected number on this has Penn State minus 21.58, which is not close to the 26.5. My power rating has Penn State minus 19.3. Penn State's current strength of schedule, even with a loss to Oregon last week at home, number 75 current strength of schedule. UCLA has played a tougher schedule than that. That's insane. Number 68 strength of schedule for UCLA. UCLA number 115 in PPA margin. They're pretty good. How about this? They're average on offense. Their defense is just awful. Number 133 in PPA allowed per drive on defense. Dead last in the country. Number 136 in defensive success rate allowed. 53.44% success rate against this defense. It is wild. And running the ball is what they do worst. I mean, it's awful. Number 111 PPA allowed per rush. Number 124 in yards allowed per rush. Number 134 in rushing success rate allowed. They're number 19 in rushing explosiveness, but that's because it doesn't matter. I mean, it's bad. number 135 in offensive line yards allowed, number 136 in stuff rate. Penn State is number 1 in stuff rate allowed. They're going to be able to run the ball and do whatever they want to. Like, it really doesn't matter. As far as 5 factors are concerned, UCLA, number 135. Penn State is number 32. Penn State will take out their aggression here. They will handle business. There's not a whole lot to talk about. I do think that Tim Skipper at least got them somewhat fired up for the Northwestern game. You're going back home. Maybe this is a last gasp thing. But Nico is going to have zero time to be able to do anything against this Penn State defense. And even if he does, I don't know if he's good enough to be able to do anything against them. On passing down success allowed, Penn State's defense is number 1. I mean, that's just, there will be blood. There will be blood. My number says to take UCLA. How? Why would you? Why would you ever bet on this team? UCLA covered against Northwestern last week. Had to pull themselves out of a hole. They scored 2 late touchdowns in that game. But I'll take Penn State. I think they're mad about what happened last week. I think they understand they've still got the entire season ahead of them. That offensive and defensive line, they're going to feast in this game. UCLA, they don't have the talent to be able to keep up here. And even if they did, that talent wouldn't know what to do. So give me Penn State. Best number that I can get is 25.5. I'll take it. Give me the Nittany Lions. Game number 8, 2:30 p.m. Central Time on ESPN. Can you believe that they didn't make this an ABC game? Like, even as bad as Florida has been. The Florida Gators hosting Texas. That's right, the Longhorns coming in, and the Longhorns have just, you want to talk about a fall from grace. This team was number 1 in the country in the preseason, and they lost 1 game to the new number 1 team in the country. They've only won games by double digits ever since then, and the offense has looked so bad with Arch Manning that everybody just kind of wrote them off. They're number 50 in strength of record. They're number 29 current strength of schedule. Florida, number 3 current strength of schedule. Number 19 PPA margin. The defense is still elite. Number 5 in defensive PPA allowed per drive. That's predicted points added. Both of these defenses are really good. Both of these offenses are putrid. The total is at 45.5. My projected total is at 40. It's saying 45.5 is too much for these two. Like, way too much. I've got Texas favored by 9.5 as far as stats projected. My power rating has Texas by 7. So as far as the stats projected spread, I've got Texas 25 to 15-ish, 25.89 to 15.3. So we'll call it 25 to 15, somewhere around there. But the spread on it is actually Texas. You can get a 7 or a 7.5. Both of these teams are off of a bye. It's the first road SEC game for Arch Manning. Last year, Texas won this game when DJ Lagway was out with an injury. They won it 49-17 in Austin last year. Texas 3-0 straight up, 1-2 against the spread in SEC road games last year. They only had to play 3 road games because one of their road games was at the Cotton Bowl against Oklahoma. This is the first meeting between these two teams in Gainesville since 1940. Pretty bananas. Florida has lost outright 4 of their last 7 SEC home openers. I would imagine they're probably going to do the exact same thing here. They are certainly favored not to. However, I am really debating the Florida situation here. The fact that I can get a 7, I'm feeling pretty good about. At what point does Florida just give up the ghost? Because they have been fighting in these games, and their offense has been abysmal. Number 122 in PPA per pass, number 125 in yards per pass attempt, number 101 in passing success rate. They are number 54 in PPA per rush, number 98 in yards per rush. They are, 90th in stuff rate allowed. They are not very explosive, and you're not going to be able to get anything going against this Texas defense at all. On the other side, the Texas offense, number 119 in PPA per pass, but they can at least run the ball. The issue is that Florida's pretty good at stopping the run. Number 16 in PPA allowed per rush, number 38 in yards allowed per rush, number 28 in rushing success allowed, number 46 in rushing explosiveness allowed, etc. If Texas cannot throw the football at all and Florida is able to keep 7 guys in the box, then what do we do? Like, then it gets really crazy. As far as intangibles, that kind of thing, where it's disciplined and don't make mistakes, don't hurt yourself. Texas number 128 in penalties per game, but they're number 29 in turnover margin. Florida is the exact opposite, number 47 in penalties per game, but they're number 100 in turnover margin. DJ Lagway, ton of interceptions, is what it is. Neither team is explosive. Number 127 in offensive explosiveness for Florida. Texas is number 128. The difference is Texas is number 1 in defensive explosiveness allowed. Florida is number 22. There's not like a massive difference between the lines of scrimmage here, but as far as running back against linebackers, skill talent against back seven, etc., I mean, Texas talent-wise, far and away better. This thing has been bet down. I know I said in the offseason when I was making predictions on the entire season that this would be a game where I would expect Florida to be able to win. I no longer think that. I think Texas is going to win. My power rating has Texas minus 7.2. The stats minus 9.59. I wonder if Arch got something going in the last game. I think this is the one last hurrah. They didn't fire Billy Napier in the bye week. Maybe some guys got healed up a little bit. This one's at home. I can still get the 7.5. I think Florida hangs around here. I still think Texas wins. I think Florida hangs around. I'm going against my projected stat spread. I'm going to take Florida. Florida plus 7.5 at home in Gainesville. Game number 2, how crazy is this? College game day is going to Tuscaloosa. Alabama hosting top 15 Vanderbilt. Alabama is now top 10. Vandy is 15, something like that. I mean, this is insane. Alabama opened as a 13.5 point home favorite here. That thing has already come down to 11.5, 10.5 in some spots. Vandy won 40-35 last year in Nashville. The previous 4 matchups before that, Alabama won by an average of 43-3. And then last year, really got it going with Diego Pavia at home. Vandy 4-0 against the spread as a road dog in 2024. This team has been absolutely lighting it up. They are 4-1 against the spread. The only time they didn't cover was last week. You would imagine they were looking ahead, but they still almost covered. And the team that covered against them, it was a 23.5 point spread, 22.5, whatever it was. The team that covered against them is now 5-0 against the number. That's Bronco Mendenhall's Aggies of Utah State. Alabama now 3-1 against the spread. They are 3-1 overall. They lost the first game of the year, but now coming off of a big win in Athens over Georgia. There you go. Stats projected spread has Vanderbilt favored by 0.1 points or 0.09 points. Vanderbilt's good. Like, this is a good football team. You start to look at position rankings, Vandy, top 15 offensive line in the country. They got some big dogs on that offensive line. Now, Alabama's defensive line is number 3, but they can be run on. That is something to pay attention to. The linebackers for Alabama, that is who's going to have to be disciplined here, especially playing their gaps against Diego Pavia and that kind of zone read thing that he likes to do. This Tim Beck offense is phenomenal. They are so good, so disciplined. And I say so disciplined, but they're number 110 in penalties per game. But as far as doing your job, they are incredibly disciplined. Number 17 in turnover margin, only number 27 in giveaways per game. They're number 14 in takeaways. Alabama has not turned the ball over yet this year. They are number 21 in takeaways per game. I don't think Alabama is going to have to worry about overlooking this opponent this year. Last year, you beat Georgia at home. It was a top 5 matchup. Huge, huge stakes. This year, it's a little different. Right? Just a little bit different. That is very interesting. I've got the wrong... my database jacked up. Anyway. First half point margin. It's... That is so incorrect. It's not even funny. It's got Vanderbilt 77th at negative 14.3. I don't remember Vanderbilt trailing this year. I guess... Okay, that does make sense. Virginia Tech, they were down by 10 in that one, and I think they were only up by a few points over South Carolina. They kill in the second half. So I'll have to look in the database and fix that. So, Alabama's not going to overlook them this year.
Talent-wise, Alabama number 1 in the country in on-threes overall talent rank. Vandy is number 58. So talent-wise, Alabama should absolutely beat these guys. The problem is they should have beaten them last year. And Alabama's defense could not defend what Vandy was doing. Vandy, number 25 in yards per rush, number 38 in PPA per rush, number 30 in rush rate. They're 57th in rushing success rate. Alabama's number 109 in PPA per rush, number 100 in yards allowed per rush, number 116 in rush rate allowed, number 122 in rushing success rate allowed, number 105 in rushing explosiveness allowed. Like, they got dog-walked by Florida State and by Georgia. They cannot stop the run. And now for the first half of this game, you're going to have one of your big defensive linemen out for it because he got called for targeting. Absolutely ridiculous. Just why even do that? Special teams, both are ranked top 10, where they're tied for 10th in SP Plus special teams efficiency. Okay. Like, I get it. This is, you know what? I just read you Alabama's offensive PPA per rush. Number 109, number 100, number 116, number 122, number 106. They're not good at running the football. They are good at throwing the football. Vandy is number 107 in pass rate against. They're number 67 in QBR allowed. Alabama's number 14 in QBR, number 24 in yards per attempt, number 8 in PPA per pass compared to Vandy's number 81. Vandy is number 2 in the country in predicted points added margin. They're number 2 on offense per drive, number 1 in offensive success rate in both passing and rushing. That's terrifying. Number 1 in rushing success. Alabama's number 48 in rushing success allowed. This is so interesting. Vandy, number 2 in offensive line yards. Alabama, number 81 in offensive line yards allowed. Number 79 in stuff rate allowed. There is no amount of talent that can make up for the chemistry and whatnot that these guys have already proven to have. This is easy right now. This line is going to get under 10.5. I'm going to take the 11.5 that's right here for the show. But Vandy is going to cover this number. This is going to be a tight ball game. Vandy has not played anybody close to Alabama as far as talent level so far. Current strength of schedule, Vandy number 90. Alabama has played the number 4 current strength of schedule. Played at Georgia, played at Florida State. Looking pretty good thus far, but this thing opened at 13.5, and that was an absolute joke. It got fixed immediately, got hit on Vandy. There you go. So Vanderbilt plus 11.5 for show purposes right here.
Are you tired of sore knees or joints slowing you down? Go Sleeves uses built-in kinesiology tape technology to give you support, reduce pain, and help you recover faster. Use code WCE for 15% off over at GoSleeves.com.
2:30 p.m. Central Time on NBC. The Boise State Broncos head to the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Notre Dame putting on absolute clinics with their offensive football team, and their defense is even slowing Arkansas down to only allow 13 points, still did not help them in overall numbers. Number 113 in PPA allowed per drive. They're number 107 in defensive success rate allowed. Boise's numbers pretty good. Notre Dame opened as a 17.5-point home favorite. That thing got bet up. 20.5 is the number you can get right now. There is a 19.5 out there. 63.5 is our total, and that thing has not moved. Now, my projected total on this close to 65.5, somewhere around there. My power rating has Notre Dame by 15.3. My projected stat spread has Notre Dame by 16 on this. The first ever meeting between these two, Marcus Freeman, 3-6 against the spread against G5 teams. Boise, 9-4-1 against the spread as a road dog in their last 14 in that role. Boise is not very good at stopping the run. Number 122 in PPA allowed per rush. They're number 112 in rush rate. They're number 87 in yards allowed per rush. Number 130 in rushing explosiveness. Notre Dame in those metrics, number 15, number 56, number 23, number 29. That could be a problem with Jeremiah Love in that bunch. On the other side, Boise's offense, 24 in PPA per pass, 36 in yards per pass attempt, number 35 in passing success. Notre Dame's numbers there, 118, 98, 112. Running the ball, Boise, number 40 in PPA per rush, number 18 in yards per rush, number 40 in rushing success. Notre Dame's defense, number 79, number 57, and number 91 in those. Boise, talent-wise, is nowhere close to this. Nowhere close. But I do think that they are fired up for a game like this, right? We've seen Notre Dame do this over and over. It's tough for them to get hyped for a G5 opponent. Boise hung around with Penn State last year. They hang around with power conference teams all the time. Neither team very good on special teams. Neither team really turns the ball over very much. I'm going to trust my number here. The 5 factors rank, Notre Dame, number 45. Boise, number 57. Yes, Notre Dame, again, significantly more talented. I'm going to trust the number, though. I've got Notre Dame winning 41 to 24.5 or so. That stays well within the 20.5. I'll go with the dog again. Give me Boise State, plus 20.5 in this one.
Again, like the video, subscribe to the channel, check out bettingcfb.com, all that good stuff. Game number 5. That's right. Virginia traveling to Louisville off of just an absolutely massive win. Louisville got a big win at Pitt. Not nearly as big as Virginia's home win over top 10 Florida State, but either way, Louisville is a 6-point favorite or 5.5, depending on which book you're looking at. It's 2:30 p.m. Central on ESPN2 on this one. And yeah, this is a big one as far as ACC is concerned. Louisville currently still undefeated, 4-0, but they are 1-3 against the spread. Virginia is 4-1. They are 3-1-1 against the spread thus far on the season. Looking at some trends, Louisville won at Virginia 24-20 as a 7-point favorite last year. They threw a touchdown pass. I remember Tyler Shuck throwing a pass late in that one to get the win. Regardless, Virginia 8-3 against the spread against Louisville, 3-0 against the spread against ranked Cardinals. Virginia is 18-7 against the spread off of a straight-up win. And Louisville, 8-3 against the spread as a home favorite before this season. So I hadn't even looked at this season's numbers, but looking back in the past years, pretty good covering at home as a home favorite. And Virginia, just good at covering whatever numbers in front of them. They're really good at it. You start looking at position battles, at talent, at everything else, and Virginia, it appears that they hit in the portal. Chandler Morris is pretty good. Number 17 in PPA per pass, number 48 in yards per pass attempt, number 48 in QBR. Biggest thing is they are able to run the ball. They are number 6 in the country in PPA per rush. And scoring opportunities per game, 10. So 7.6 drives, get a first down inside the opponent 40. And they average 4.79 points per scoring opportunity. Very interesting. 5 factors rank, Louisville number 24. You would expect that from a Jeff Brom team. And Virginia number 34. So these two teams are pretty close. Like pretty close when you really think about it. My projected spread, I've got Louisville by 5 as far as power rating is concerned. Louisville minus 5.8 as far as the stats projected spread, which is hilarious considering this thing is either 6 or 5.5 depending on what book you get it at. Number 21 in PPA margin for Louisville. They are not great on offense. Number 77 in PPA per drive on offense, but they are really good on defense. Number 9. Virginia is the exact opposite. Virginia is number 5 in PPA per drive on offense. Number 83 in defensive PPA allowed per drive. Number 19 offensive success rate against Louisville's number 15 defensive success rate. Louisville's number 65 offensive success rate against Virginia's number 80 defensive success. We got strength on strength, weakness on weakness here. Special teams point in the favor of Virginia, number 29 to number 85 for Louisville. Looking at turnover margin, both teams pretty good. Louisville number 94 in giveaways per game, but they take the ball away the third most in the country. Virginia number 39 in giveaways per game, number 49 in takeaways per game. It's just kind of whatever. So number 29 and number 43 in turnover margin. Louisville number 117 in penalties per game. They are number 122 in penalty yards per game. Virginia number 40 in penalties per game and number 18 in penalty yardage per game. That's some big-time differences. Big-time differences. when I look at these like red zone conversion percentage, defensive red zone conversion percentage, all that skews towards Louisville pretty heavily. You start looking at strength of schedule, Virginia is number 100, Louisville's number 113. So there's not a massive difference between these two. This thing opened at 6.5. It's come down a little bit. I'm going to side with the people that it came down for. I'm going to take Virginia, and I will take Virginia plus the 6 here. I think even though they had a massive win, and this is a letdown spot, they do always play Louisville close, and this team appears to be on a mission. I think they hit in the portal. Louisville has gotten some luck here and there. I know they're at home. Perfect time to kind of get a little sleepy, etc. They're certainly going to be awake because Virginia was able to upset Florida State last week. But I'll take the Hoos. Give me the Cavaliers plus the 6 on the road here.
The moneyline materialist Oklahoma Sooners are going to host the Kent State Falcons, or excuse me, the Kent State Flashes, Golden Flashes. And Oklahoma is a 45.5 point home favorite, total of 53.5. 3 p.m. Central Time, God's time zone on the SEC Network. The last 3 MAC teams that Oklahoma has played have scored a combined 12 points on Oklahoma. Oklahoma is coming off of a bye. They have Texas next week, but they do not have John Mateer. So Michael Hawkins Jr. is going to be the quarterback here. These numbers are not going to mean anything that you see on the screen. These passing numbers for Oklahoma, we have no idea what Michael Hawkins is going to do. No clue. I do know that Kent State's defense is awful. Number 124 in PPA allowed per drive. They're number 125 in defensive success rate allowed. Number 119 passing. Number 112 rushing. That's not good. That is just so not good. Oklahoma is really good on defense. Kent State has put up a lot of fights. They are 2-2 against the spread so far this year. Oklahoma 2-1-1. Here's the direction that I'm going to go with this, and follow my logic. When you have a total that is only, we've got a total of 53.5 right now. So that's actually gone up. 53.5, and Oklahoma is favored by 45.5. You have an 8-point difference there. Best bet to me would be Kent State team total under. I do not expect them to be able to score, especially because Oklahoma's defense knows they've really got to put out. They've got to look good, especially with Texas coming up. If I'm going to go any kind of way, I think Oklahoma is going to try their best to get the run game going, especially in a game like this. That means less possessions. That means, so Kent State is number 116 in pace of play. Oklahoma right now is number 39. That is going to slow down considerably this next week. They're going to run the quarterback some. They're not going to put it up in the air. This will be vanilla game plan, right? And then you just hope that the surgery went well enough and that the rehab is going really well and that John Mateer can come back for Texas next week. I don't think he will, but for show purposes, this is not one that I'm really going to bet. I'm going to go take Kent State plus 45.5 on this. You could totally see 42-3, 45-3, 48-3, and that gets us to the window on a game like this. So hold your nose, take out the trash. Kent State plus 45.5.
6 p.m. Central Time, God's time zone on ESPN. Undefeated Houston hosts undefeated Texas Tech. This one, Tech is currently a 12.5 point favorite on the road. Texas Tech is coming off of a bye. Massive win at Utah a couple weeks ago. Texas Tech 6-0 straight up, 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 meetings against Houston. And Willie Fritz, been a dog quite a few times. 9-5 against the spread as a home dog. They were 2-0 straight up as home dogs last year. And boy, if you watch that Oregon State game late Friday night, that game reeked of, we were not worried about Oregon State. We were focused on Texas Tech. That's what that game reeked of. I mean, they had to play at Oregon State. I know that playing up there at Reser is tough, but I did not expect that. Oregon State is a terrible football team, and Houston just didn't show up. Houston, current strength of schedule number 126. Texas Tech number 86. Texas Tech number 1 in the country in PPA margin. They are number 16 on offense, number 1 on defense. Number 1. Houston, absolutely friggin' putrid on offense. Number 116 in PPA per drive. That's predicted points added per drive on offense. Per drive. Excuse me. Maybe I didn't say that. I don't know. Number 13 in defensive per drive. So good defensive matchup here. Like really, really good. The total is 52.5. My number has this thing going over. Pace of play in this, number 62 for Houston, number 11 for Texas Tech. So there are going to be a lot of plays, a lot of chances. And when you look at explosiveness, Houston is number 1 in net explosiveness. Texas Tech is number 5. So there will be explosive plays, even though we do have fantastic defenses on both sides of the ball. Both of them are pretty good at stopping explosive plays. But I think that we're going to get at least a few. Right? Somebody is going to be able to put up some points. Scoring opportunities per game, Texas Tech is number 1 on offense. Houston, number 4 in allowing. Houston, number 129 in points allowed per scoring opportunity. On the other side, Houston, number 88 in points per scoring opportunity on offense. Texas Tech, number 23. Texas Tech does not allow scoring opportunities. And that's, for those that don't know, scoring opportunity is a drive that gets a first down inside the opponent's 40-yard line. So there you go. All right, my power rating has Texas Tech by 7.5. My stats projected spread has Texas Tech by 15.68. So the odds maker split the difference, put it at 12.5. It's still sitting at 12.5 with a total of 52.5. I'm going to go with the power rating. I think Houston has some things dialed up for this. Austin Armstrong doing a really good job with that defense thus far. I think they went as vanilla as they possibly could against Oregon State last week. I think they're going to be fired up for this. I think the crowd is going to be fired up for this. Texas Tech coming in, it's going to be a close ball game. Give me Houston to cover this. I'm going against my stats projected spread here, and I'll stick with the power rating. I think Houston hangs around here. I think this defense finds a way to take the ball away, maybe. They are, let's see, number 41 in takeaways per game. Texas Tech is number 3, but also Texas Tech is number 79 in giveaways per game. That's one thing Baron Morton does. Along with the backup, he hadn't turned the ball over yet, but I imagine we will see that, especially on the road here. Give me Houston, plus 12.5 in this spot.
Stop guessing and start winning. Stokastic provides advanced data and strategies for DFS players and bettors, built by pros who know how to find edges. Click the link in the description and sign up today. Why struggle doing everything yourself? On Fiverr, you can hire professionals for just about anything. Marketing, editing, design, and more. Save time, get it done right. Click the link in the description to get started.
Like the video, subscribe to the channel, bettingcfb.com or buymeacoffee.com/winningcures, and subscribe to the podcast as well. All right, game number 7. 6:30 p.m. Central Time on NBC. The Minnesota Golden Gophers are going over to Columbus, Ohio. They are going to Ohio Stadium for a night game against the Ohio State Buckeyes, who absolutely thrashed Washington last week. Tore them apart. Ohio State, number 4 in the country in PPA margin. They let the shackles off of Julian Sayin last week. Absolutely did. Number 14 in PPA per pass. Number 11 in yards per pass attempt. Number 5 in QBR. Julian Sayin looks good right now, and they are not throwing the ball that much. 48.8%. That is good for 69th most in the country. So just dead average. Just dead on average. Number 48 in passing success rate. They're not very explosive in the passing game yet. That will change this week because Minnesota is 85th in passing success allowed, number 85th in passing explosiveness allowed. Trying to run the ball, Minnesota is as good as anybody in the country at defending the run. This week, Ohio State is going to throw the ball on them. I would almost guarantee it. This number, by the way, Ohio State favored by 22.5. That thing has actually gone up 23.5 or 24 at a couple of different spots. So, You got people betting on Ohio State this week coming back from the long road trip out to Seattle. Minnesota, let's look at some trends. Minnesota 3-4 against the spread, 0-7 straight up in Columbus since 2000. 37-3 Ohio State win in 37-3 Ohio State win here in 2023. Minnesota 12-4-2 against the spread as a double-digit dog in Big Ten games. They were 2-0 in that spot just last year. The offense for Minnesota, even with the freshman quarterback, number 41 in PPA per drive, number 33 in defensive PPA allowed per drive. They're 35th in offensive success rate, 56th in defensive success rate. This is an interesting spot for Minnesota. Ohio State, their schedule, they've got some more difficult games coming up. I think they've got Wisconsin coming up, which isn't that big a deal. This is a night game at Ohio Stadium, etc. Their pace of play, they are number 134 in the country, Ohio State is. That number is bananas. 1.92 plays per minute. That's crazy. Minnesota, also, number 125 in pace of play. Just over 2 plays per minute. This total is 46.5, and you've got Ohio State, it opened at 22.5. It got up to 23.5, 24. This is the spot where you have a low total and a gigantic spread. My stats projected spread has Ohio State minus 23, and it has Ohio State minus 20 as far as the power rating. My total is well over the 46.5. I've got 52 for a total. I know Minnesota has been dealing with some injuries for running backs, etc. I know. I think their defense is good enough to hang around in this ball game. I don't this is not Ohio State going to Washington as an 8.5-point favorite and playing a significantly lesser than team. I know talent-wise, Minnesota's number 48 as far as overall talent, but you start diving into 5 factors rank, etc. Minnesota number 43 in 5 factors rank. Ohio State's number 6, but Ohio State is at home. They don't typically cover at home, at least not as a huge favorite like this. I kind of think that Minnesota will be able to hang around here. 24 is a lot. Give me the Golden Gophers plus 24 here. I know their offense has not been good running the ball. I think they can still run it enough, and I think they're still going to be able to throw the ball a little bit. So I don't expect them to score a ton of points, but I also don't think Ohio State has to do a whole lot here. They got way bigger fish to fry down the road. This is not a game where they're going to be looking to run it up on PJ Fleck. I don't imagine. But the number, I got to bet the number. Give me Minnesota plus 24. Game number 1, 6:30 p.m. Central Time on ABC, Miami. The Hurricanes are headed to Tallahassee. They are taking on the now once-beaten Florida State Seminoles, who lost on the road at Virginia on Friday night. Last year, 36-14, Miami win, and it was just as bad as you would think. Good gracious. Miami 2-8 against the spread as a single-digit favorite against ACC teams. The dog in this series is 14-6 against the spread with 9 outright wins since 2005. Miami is coming off of a bye. Of course, Florida State coming off of that loss on Friday, as I mentioned. Florida State 1-3 against the spread in their last 4 against Miami. Looking at our numbers here. Miami, current strength of schedule, number 30. Florida State, number 20. Okay, reasonable. My numbers have Miami favored by 3.21. The current spread has Florida State as a 4.5-point home dog. They were 6.5 when this line opened, and it got hit immediately. Total was around 55.5. I've got it closer to like 70. We'll see, because both of these defenses are pretty good, but you saw a lot of points on Friday night in Charlottesville as well. PPA margin, Miami is 16. Florida State is number 5. When you start diving into some more of this, Florida State number 7 in offensive explosiveness. Miami is number 123. So Miami, you start really diving in, number 10 in, on offense. They're number 16 in scoring opportunities per game. That's drives where you get a first down inside the opponent's 40-yard line. 7.25 drives per game. And points per scoring opportunity, they're pretty good at finishing drives. 5.1 points per scoring opportunity. Florida State, not very good at stopping that, number 73 in the country, but they don't give up a ton of scoring opportunities per game. Part of that could be because they have played Kent State and Sisters of the Poor and whoever else. So when you start diving into, well, let's look on the Florida State side. They are pretty good, number 8 in offensive success rate compared to Miami's 13. Miami number 10 in defensive success rate, but Florida State is number 59. A lot of that had to do with the fact that Alabama did have some success against them, and Virginia had a ton of success against them, especially throwing the football. Passing success allowed by Florida State, 75th. That's bad. It's not very good at all. But on offense, Florida State can put up points, even against this Corey Heatherman defense, which I love for Miami. They're really good at it. So you look at this, Florida State, as far as finishing drives, etc., number 9 in scoring opportunities per game, so they're 7.75 drives per game where they get a first down inside the opponent 40, and they're number 16, 5.16 points per scoring opportunity. Miami's defense, number 60 in points per scoring opportunity. So neither defense is great at stopping you once you get onto their side of the field, but they don't really allow you to get over there very much. I'll say that. The thing that makes you really think about this game, 5 factors rank, right? The intangibles, the things that really win ball games for you. Number 4 in the country for Miami, number 15 for Florida State. That's a big thing for me. Florida State, number 69 in turnover margin. Miami is number 29. They hold on to the ball pretty well. They're not great at getting takeaways. Both teams, number 41 in takeaways per game. Miami, number 72 in penalties per game. Florida State, number 18. They don't commit a lot of penalties. I think this is going to be right down to the wire. My power rating has Miami by a little over 4. My stats projected spread has Miami by 3. This is in Tallahassee. I think they were already looking ahead to this game when they went to Virginia last week. I'll take Florida State plus the 4.5. That's the best number I can get right now. Give me the Noles plus 4.5 at home. Finally, game number 10, Mississippi State going to Texas A&M, 6:30 p.m. Central on the SEC Network. Mississippi State was overtime away from beating Tennessee and being 5-0 under second-year coach Jeff Lebby here. It was not meant to be. It is what it is. And now State is a 14-point road dog at Kyle Field. A&M 13.5, if you want to get that number, but both of those numbers are widely available at multiple books. So we'll look at the thing. Since 2017, the dog in this series is 2-6 against the spread. This is the first road trip for Mississippi State since week 1, and they went on the road and they smashed what has turned out to be a pretty good Southern Miss football team. Lebby was 5-0 against the spread as a 10-plus point underdog last year. Mississippi State 2-0 against the spread before a bye week last year as well. Texas A&M had a big game against Auburn last week, coming off of a bye. Their schedule is almost Charmin soft at this point. They're number 12 in current strength of schedule, but that is because they have played Auburn at home and they played on the road and won at Notre Dame, mainly because Notre Dame missed an extra point. 41-40 in South Bend. Mississippi State, number 71, and that was in week 3. Mississippi State, number 71 in current strength of schedule. These two teams, my number on this, for those curious, if you're listening on the podcast, stats projected spread has A&M by 8.66. Power rating has A&M by 9.9, so by almost 10 points. Total is 56.5. My total is over that at 61.38. So we're looking at a score of 35 to about 26.5 as far as the stats projected spread is concerned. 13.5 or 14. Interesting. Found that number very, very interesting. PPA margin. Texas A&M number 32. Mississippi State number 34. Mississippi State's offense number 30 in offensive success rate. Texas A&M's defense number 9 in defensive success rate allowed. State's defense has been good. Number 33 in defensive success rate allowed. Texas A&M's offense, as far as on a down-to-down basis, number 52 in offensive success rate, 45% success rate on offense, but they are awful throwing the football. They can be explosive, number 14 in passing explosiveness for Texas A&M, but they are number 113 in passing success rate. Like when you need them to do something, they don't typically get there. Third down conversions, Texas A&M is number 126. This Mississippi State defense is number 32 in third down conversions allowed. I think this game could be close. It could be really, really close. You look at overall talent rank, Mississippi State, surprisingly, number 24. This is a top 25 talent roster in the country. A&M, number 10. On the other side of the ball, State can run the ball. Number 32 in PPA per rush. They're number 8 in rushing success rate. Jeff Lebby knows how to do this stuff. They are number 43 in passing success rate, but they're number 12 in passing explosiveness. They're going to be able to put up some points. In 5 factors rank, just the 5 things that are required to win a football game, Texas A&M number 16 in 5 factors rank. Mississippi State is number 18. These are 2 teams that are pretty good on both sides of the ball. There are some things to look at. As far as penalties go, there's going to be a lot of penalties in this game. Mississippi State number 134 in penalties per game. Texas A&M number 135. That is abysmal. Texas A&M number 86 in turnover margin. Mississippi State number 14 in turnover margin. So that is a big thing to pay attention to. I look at this number, and I can get 2 touchdowns here. I know it's a night game. It's at Kyle Field, and State coming off an emotional loss. It is what it is. It's the SEC. I think you're up for these games pretty much every week. This was not a top 5 matchup that Mississippi State was dealing with last week. I think they're going to be ready. And A&M may not be looking at this as closely because Mississippi State's coming off of a loss. We'll see. But I think the State defense is pretty good. State offense is pretty good. They're going to be able to hang in this game. Give me the dog. The Bulldogs. Plus 14 on the road. I will take Mississippi State to cover the number.
Thanks for listening to Winning Cures Everything. Subscribe, leave a review or comment, follow at GaryWCE on X, and check out the web store,